When you're a sailor living on a boat, sometimes your biggest challenge can be yourself. If you haven't met us before, we're Courtney and Josh. We're two sailors who recently embarked on what we thought would be our biggest journey. Hey, miss.
Yes.
But sometimes life takes you on a journey you never expected.
What are you cooking?
Leftovers. I'm reheating leftovers. This is not a pretty thing. It's all the fat that came to the surface. Why are you going to film this?
Because it smells
you
delicious.
filmed it yesterday when I was making it from scratch. Now it's a reheat.
How you feeling?
I don't know. Relieved? In a way?
Well, do you
I'm
want to
not,
talk about what's been going on?
So in March, I had my doctor's appointment lined up, and I found out that not only do I have multiple tumors, I also have some other form of cancer and different areas of the body. So next week is surgery to remove that. It's just like, how do I I don't know how to introduce people. Okay, so this is Ashley of
Vanna
Ceiling.
White,
Yeah, Ceiling Papillon.
Hi.
And she has a very similar story, and we would like to kind of share like insights and experience on that.
I'm grateful for Courtney for letting me stay on the boat while she's recovering, because our boat, Travis and I, is in Mexico. Sailing Papillon on YouTube. Check it out.
What is it like to live on a boat with medical issues or a set of medical issues?
Yeah.
And how to handle them.
Not so fun. Not the same as having a nice home that you could just drive up to your front door and get in, and everything's easy breezy. Living on a boat is a lot more complicated. 2019, I open myomectomy. Similar to what Courtney's gonna have done, but hers is a little bit more intense because it's a hysterectomy. So mine was, I had a bunch of, I guess, polyp type things. For females out there, they're called fibroids, and they're non-cancerous forms on the uterus. So those things were causing me a lot of pain, a lot of issues, and you basically had to get them cut out. Anyway, it was intense. It's basically having the baby without a baby. Essentially, for me, for you, you're just gonna
Everything's gonna be cut
everything.
out.
Yeah, but they leave your
Ovaries.
So
I won't go into menopause, which would be great, but yeah, it's a whole adjustment after that.
So the thing with fibroids, and possibly also what's caused you issues, was fibroids grow with blood flow, and what's the other thing that they grow on? Estrogen.
Yeah, that's the problem with estrogen. So your body overproduces amount of estrogen, and it just spikes, which means also during your cycle or having a pregnancy, it also causes the spike, and then they develop faster. The way my doctor put it was they act like a parasite.
Yeah. Oh,
and
lovely.
they just develop and they multiply, and they just yeah.
They could be like the size of a grain of sand, or they could grow to what Courtney and I both have, had and about to not have. Like this large?
About a grapefruit or bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing what our body can hold within, and you don't know until it's too late.
Fun stuff. Yeah. Everything that guys will never understand, never have to live in, deal with.
Well, they have to deal with the emotional side of us while we deal with it. But
there was times I couldn't even go to work. I don't ever really call in, but I literally was up all my sick days last year because I just couldn't get out of bed. I was in so much pain. You bend over and you're like, wow, I can't. That's felt weird. I can't bend over like this anymore. I thought my back was just really tight and my pants didn't start to fit. And I was like, well, I tried to change my diet. I didn't know what was going on, but I noticed that I just lost my flexibility and
So your boat yoga every day was harder and harder.
Yeah, getting out of the boat was like, why can't I do this?
Yeah.
So it just creeps up on you, and then it's like, no, I need to go to the doctor. Something's not right.
I was doing yoga when I first realized what was going on with me. We were doing downward dog and then Sphinx pose. So you're very on your belly. And I went to the doctor shortly thereafter, and that's how I got figured out what I was going on with me.
We're in the process right now of cleaning up Courtney's boat. I've got to do all the dishes, and then we're going to be packing all of our clothes up, and then cleaning everything to make sure that our friend Ashley can come and stay aboard while we're gone. But tomorrow, first thing, we are going to be heading over to the hospital for Courtney's surgery.
We spent one last night on board before surgery. Now we gotta get up and start getting ready to go to the hospital.
Surprise. But are you nervous? Like, how are you feeling about it?
I'm not nervous about the procedure, really. I'm just actually no, nervous. I'm more like relieved that they're gonna biopsy everything because they gotta, check that it's cancer or not cancer. So they gotta biopsy everything. But more relieved to just
be without the shit. Yeah. It's unless you've been there, you don't know. And I know a lot of viewers out there probably have, and maybe being able to hear this kind of thing is helpful.
Yeah.
So your surgery is gonna go well.
I hope so. Yeah. It's in a few days. I think when I first got the diagnosis, like, that hit me with a wave of, like, emotions and whatnot. And now I'm just like, well, I got a couple days. It is what it is, So we'll see how I recover and how much pain I'm going to be in. And
you're going to just surprise yourself.
Yeah.
Our bodies are resilient. We're built for this. We're not built for this, but we're built for pain. Women are.
Women, yeah. But I'd much rather have the hysterectomy now than when I'm 65 and, like, can barely walk.
Well,
or something.
Maybe you wouldn't remember it. You're just, did I have a hysterectomy?
No, I feel like I recover better, much faster at my age now, in my 30s, than when I
bounce back much
easier. Much easier than somebody in their 60s. But
true.
Just parked at the hospital. Now we've got to find where to check in. This place is huge, by the way. If you've ever been to the Med Center in Houston.
So all these different hospital systems and all these different towers of each hospital system, and they're all connected with different tunnels and pathways, and parking garages are all separate.
Yeah. It's like a labyrinth for insurance claims.
I used to work out in the Med Center, so it was interesting. Yeah.
My surgeon, I asked specifically, take vivid photos of those because I want to see those suckers. And she did, which was great. So I have a keepsake, so to speak. They gave her two options. You can either never have kids naturally, or you can risk having kids naturally and potentially have major issues. Both things women don't want to hear. So, especially in our 30s. So
it is something that we're laughing and having, an interesting discussion about now, but it's a sensitive topic.
It's heavy.
It's a pretty heavy thing to have to make that decision, never having kids
and
before.
And to make it now.
And to make it a lot earlier than most women have to make that choice. But I was given two options, too. It's like heavy medication to where you throw your body into menopause. You get osteoporosis because they want to put you on this heavy medication that stops your estrogen production.
Which is what I did.
Yeah, but it causes a lot of other side effects, and
Oh yes.
they don't do it long term because of how extreme it is and what osteoporosis and everything else that it does to your body. Like, so it would only be a little bit at a time, and then every time you're off of it, the tumors have a risk of coming back.
Which is what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, and so they always will come back. There's no way to stop it unless you just cut out everything. So it's either go through the myomectomy and then risk, if you were to have kids, rupturing your uterus, having miscarriages, birth defects, everything else, because now these tumors are still coming back if they even could get all of them to begin with.
Which they can't.
Yeah, they can't.
They say that they will, or they can, or they'll try to, but literally they can't. But I want to touch back on that topic though, because the choices that you're given as a woman are not great, and we don't know exactly what's happening, how these things are forming in our bodies, and we're unaware until it's way too late. Even in your normal, like, OBGYN appointment, they do a little feeling on your uterus, and they're like, oh yeah, it feels fine. This isn't something you detect until it is a problem.
But that's also, they won't do any kind of surgery or procedure until there is an issue. If you don't feel it and it's not causing any, like, bleeding disorders, not causing any pain, cramping, then they're just like, we'll just leave it alone. You can just live with these tumors until you can't.
Yep.
But by the time they get to that point, like, they're just... One's pushing into my kidney, like, they're everywhere, and so it's uncomfortable.
What were the options they gave you? Because they gave me robotic as an option.
I wasn't a candidate for that, because they...
For the little ones.
No, so I wasn't the laparoscopic one with the robotic arms that they go in. I wasn't a candidate because of where some of the tumors are. Their
location.
It's all about location, but they don't know if they're benign or cancerous yet.
Yeah.
So to chop them up would actually, if they were cancer, then...
Spread it.
It would spread it. So that just wasn't an option until they biopsy it to make sure. But by that point, hysterectomy will just take care of all of it, hopefully. So I just couldn't do it.
And I can speak to the other side if there's someone watching that's gone through or is going to go through or is thinking about weighing their options. Hysterectomy side and myomectomy side is I got instantly put on progesterone only birth control called Slind. And I did that for about 2 years. But that, as everybody knows, it messes with your hormone levels like crazy. But I didn't like how I felt on it. And I definitely know that cutting off estrogen from your female body is also not a great thing.
No.
Even if your body makes excess, which mine definitely did. It's just a roller coaster, and it's a not natural or fun one. So decisions... are made. The funny thing is in a year or two I might have to do what you're doing right now. Something else to note for if you're going to go the myomectomy route is the way that they approach your incision determines that you will have to have a baby a C-section only.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they mess with your uterus, you don't get to have a natural birth.
Yeah, and they rupture it.
That's something that they told me, and I was like, oh, I don't really care. I heard C-sections are pretty great anyway. But for those who want a natural birth, that's just something to think about.
Yeah, because you'll rupture once you already cut into it. It is possible. Now, it has been done that you can still have a natural birth after having a C-section. It is possible for someone, but not for most.
Yeah, they don't take the risk. At least I was told,
No. Once you cut into it, it's scar tissue weakens the area, then it could... Well, yeah. It could rupture it too.
Yes.
So, the final decision for either a myomectomy with all the heavy treatments to go with that and the myomectomy and all the medication, and because it isn't just like, oh, take some over-counter pain meds and it'll be fine in 2 weeks. It's like you have to maintain it for years. But the hysterectomy was the best option because for sure, they won't ever come back. They won't come back. Unless it's cancer and they spread, and that's a whole different thing. But we'll see where that is next week.
yes. I have a good feeling for you. You're gonna be good.
I'm looking forward to not having a period anymore.
Well, I'm a little jealous of that.
I was so excited for that. You have no idea. I don't have to plan my vacations or my days around my period. It is unbearable, and Josh will never understand where I'm coming from on this.
No.
But
well, after my surgery, my surgeon came right up to me the same day, I think, because they do that biopsy really quickly. So she was like, to put your mind at ease, it's non-cancerous. So great. Now I can just be on my drugs and be happy.
Yes.
But yeah, honestly, you're going to have a lot of relief coming your way.
Courtney's trying to put her piercings back in. And to do that, she wants rubber gloves on.
Yeah, because my ear piercings are
Do you want me to just feel it? How you feeling?
Well, everything hurts. I haven't sneezed or coughing. Feels like my insides are being stabbed and ripped out. So I have like a belly button and everything on to help support that. But it's painful.
Well, everything went well. As well as it could.
As well as it could. They had to call in another surgeon, and they wound up taking it over, even though that was not the original plan. Because it was just where the tumors and stuff were, was pushing on everything, and it was too hard. And then the other one, the largest tumor, took all the blood supply to the uterus, so hysterectomy was like my only option.
It's a new day. We're going to try to get you up and out of bed and eating solid food. Yes. 2 big milestones.
But recovery for me wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Granted, different surgeries, but, you know.
Same area of the body.
Exactly. I was worried that I wasn't going to be too good to go shortly thereafter. I was surprised how well you bounce back.
Well, my doctor told me about 8 to 10 weeks minimum to get back to like normal activities and whatnot. She's like, try to walk, and I'm like,
oh, they have you walking around the hospital.
Oh yeah,
like
I mean
immediately.
that's part of your recovery, increasing your blood flow and circulation, everything.
Yes,
else. But
and they won't discharge you until you poop.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing.
It's a horrible thing, but you don't think about it. Like you don't know.
Like even. That's I think what I'm scared of the most about.
Having to
like,
poop? What if you can't
poop? Poop afterwards.
Oh my god! I don't think they're allowed to give you anything either. They want you to do it naturally anyway.
Yeah, but like I think that's terrifying. So you're literally gonna be cut open every direction. You're like, how am I gonna poop?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I can say, and Josh, feel free to bleep all this out. But when I went through surgery, they did not plan it well around my cycle, and I got my period shortly after.
Mine's due the time of surgery.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, but I'm having hysterectomy, so I won't have a period after that.
You shouldn't. I was gonna say.
What?
You shouldn't.
Oh no, after that, yeah. But it's gonna be like during surgery. I'm just gonna make a mess everywhere on the table.
Yeah. So that was an interesting thing for me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was in the hospital, and I got my period right after the open myomectomy, and that was like, I had to have help. I couldn't even in the bathroom. I couldn't no.
Oh no.
Yeah, nurse had to help me do all that. It was.
Well, they stitched you up. I mean, like.
I had staples.
Oh man. Well, yeah, but the uterus they sutured it, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. But my doctor was actually really happy that happened naturally, because I would have had to call and say symptoms and stuff, but I was there in the hospital if anything went wrong. So. Yeah. It was awkward though. It was really awkward.
I think it's gonna be awkward anyways. It's like. I don't know. I don't think I've had anybody help me go to the bathroom since I was like 1 year old. After that, you kind of got it on your own until you
Josh
don't.
can help you.
So, sorry, Josh.
That's a thing.
You married me.
Yeah.
Gonna wipe my ass next week?
In sickness and in health, sweetie.
Okay.
Basically, yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a necessary evil.
My twin sister told me it's his job now, so.
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Words of encouragement.
Well, I mean, like.
All I know is that I was really worried going into mine, and once it was done, it was just such a relief. That's the thing I stress a lot to you, is that despite maybe nerves, you're going to be really grateful to not have the crap that you've been dealing with for so long anymore.
It's been pretty bad.
She's up and moving.
First.
All on her own.
First walk. It's hard.
Enjoying the view.
I have like a compression belt or something underneath here, and like to help feel like, because feels like my insides are gonna fall out, but they're not. But it feels like it will. And then getting out of bed is hard. Coughing and sneezing is even harder because everything hurts. But oh man,
just keep walking. It'll be fine.
Everything is swollen. My hands, my feet, everything. Recovery was difficult emotionally and physically. Nothing can prepare you for how challenging it is, not only for you, but also for those who care about you. I would like to thank the doctors, nurses, and hospital staff for the round-the-clock care that they provided during my surgery and recovery afterwards.
Thoughts on your third day?
Well, luckily this feels like more like a hotel room than a hospital room.
Yeah.
Everything still hurts. Hurts to laugh, hurts to cough, hurts to sneeze, hurts to fart. Everything.
Have you farted?
Nope, I'm still on a liquid diet. I can only eat so much Jell-O. I think I'll never look at Jell-O the same again.
Courtney's first meal: lasagna, mac and cheese, and pudding.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get a burger next. Start
Possibly discharge day. Yay.
Oh, we'll see. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm okay, considering you get woken up every 2 hours for blood work and pills
Yeah.
and blood pressure. But the nurses got to do the rounds.
It's discharge day.
So it was our 4th day in the hospital, and I was waiting to talk to my doctor before getting discharged for what seemed like hours. And that's when I received the news of my biopsy results. I had uterine cancer.
What an emotional roller coaster.
What? Oh. What are you doing?
Courtney is recovering nicely. We are holed up at her sister's house. Do you have any thoughts about how you're recovering?
It is kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
I don't know, I stopped taking the pain meds when they released me from the hospital. I was in there for a couple days. I think the hardest part of that was you have to walk after surgery, right? You don't want blood clots, you don't want any other complications. So it's like you need to get your circulation going and promotes, just getting back to normal and gut health and just everything, just healing. But the first day out of the hospital bed, which is like the next morning after surgery, I'm so glad I was on drugs.
Yeah. So we'll probably be here for the next, 6 weeks, do you think? Courtney can't lift any weight or do anything that's going to tear any of the staples out. So
I'm not
she's
stapled.
Stitches.
Yeah,
She can't do anything that'll tear any of the stitches out. So yeah, we've been keeping ourselves busy by watching Bridgerton and not much else.
going for little walks throughout the house or maybe down the neighborhood.
We're out promenading. We caught up on Bridgerton, so now all we have to do around here is just walk, or promenade, as they say.
Promenade on the sidewalk. Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it's a lovely day in the neighborhood. It's been nice being able to cook in a real kitchen.
That is nice. Although he's been cooking for me.
Yeah.
So.
She's the chef, but I enjoy cooking a lot too. Tonight we're having Korean barbecue bao buns. That's something that I don't think we would be able to cook on the boat just because of all the space we need.
Very nice pork fillet.
So, anyway, this is kind of our life right now.
Taking it easy, one day at a time.
Yeah. One of our goals while we're here on land is to finish the captain's course that we both signed up for.
We have 3 different courses,
Yes.
but mostly...
We're getting our 6-pack, our towing endorsement, and our sailing endorsement. This will allow us to eventually be charter captains or professional captains to some degree. We haven't really decided what we want to do with that yet, but if you have any suggestions, let us know in the comments. This is really painful for us, though, because we have very different learning styles.
Oh my god.
We have very different learning styles, and we're trying to do this together. So if this is our last video, it's because Courtney has killed me. Till death do you part, sweetie.
You're like engineer brain. You're like super focused and like everything is rigid and laid out and whatever. And I'm like the artistic ADHD. Like I gotta take a break. I don't need breaks.
How you feeling?
Like my insides got carved out.
But better, right?
Yeah, the cancer's gone.
Yeah.
Cat's fine, the dog's fine.
Flash flooding expected as the center of Beryl makes landfall near Matagorda, Texas. Dangerous storm surge and storm.
But recovery on the boat was, I was just happy to be back.
Yeah.
It's your little bubble of safety.
Yeah.
And you miss it when you're not there and you're on the hospital bed. And her and Josh want to go cruising, so this is really important to health comes first kind of a thing.
Should always come first.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
I mean, we didn't choose this.
No, we didn't choose it. It chose us.
It really fucking sucks. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how else to put that. It's not like we woke up one day and it's like, I want problems.
Welcome home. Today was Courtney's last appointment with the doctor, and she's got a clean bill of health. Released to all normal activities.
So this recovery has been very challenging for everybody involved. Still recovering for up to a year internally, still recovering. I think it took me 4 months to be able to lay on my stomach. It took me months to be able to put on my own pants, my own shoes, get dressed on my own. None of my clothes fit after surgery, so I had to buy additional clothing to kind of make up for like what's swollen. And even though I was released to normal physical activity from my doctor at the 8 to 10 week mark, it was still very challenging to just do everyday activities. Been trying to go to the gym more, and running. I can jog now, so that's good. I still feel like I need to work on my abdominal muscles. Climbing on things is a little... I can get in and out of the boat now. So as somebody who got diagnosed with uterine cancer and treated and cured, it was just a very devastating experience. I was very fortunate that it was caught at an early stage and that it was treatable and that surgery was the best way to treat that, was the best option. I've had other female friends who have lost their battle to other gynecological cancers, and a lot of times they aren't caught until it's too late, and then it's diagnosed at a much later stage. Although I didn't have to do chemo and radiation, so I had to give up so much in the process. And I've been making that decision so early on. It's just, it's so hard to go through. But I'll never forget, like, sitting in the hospital bed just waiting to after surgery, and, you're in so much pain, and the pain meds, like, you still feel like your insides are gonna fall out, so you're still in a lot of pain, even in the hospital bed, and just waiting to get released. And when you find out the official diagnosis from the pathology report, and you hear those words, that you have cancer, it just hits you like a ton of bricks. You have all these questions, and what's next? What's going to happen? What does that mean? And fear, and And so I was doing some research and the National Cancer Institute and different websites and looking up statistics, and it is not a very common cancer. It's one of those cancers, it's one of the silent killers, just like ovarian cancer, that you don't really have symptoms until it was too late. I was fortunate that I went in for other issues that was in the same area, fibroids, cysts, things like that. And estimated about 3.1% of women will, at some point in their lifetime, will be diagnosed with uterine cancer. It's not as common as breast cancer, which is much more well known, and a lot more women develop that. But having one type will actually put you at higher risk for another. If caught early, it is treatable, manageable. You have to advocate for your own health, right? If you know something is wrong, you need to go to the doctor. You need to be like, this doesn't feel right, this isn't normal. A lot of times, it's like, oh, we'll just take over-the-counter pills, just take some birth control, just, it's just your period is normal amount of pain. But it gets excessive, and it's not normal, and it's not something that should be overlooked. And whether your insurance covers it or not, because a lot of times insurance does not cover these procedures, or it doesn't cover anything more than your annual well woman exam, which does not cover everything as far as like the uterus and ovaries and everything else. You don't have MRIs every year, you don't have ultrasounds scheduled, and a lot of the times you miss these masses that are inside there. Everybody's cancer battle is very unique, very individual to themselves, and very, very different across the board. And we would like to dedicate this video to anybody who has ever gone through cancer treatments, diagnosed with cancer, still going through cancer, fighting their battle. It is tough. Recovery is even tougher. It literally flips your entire world upside down. It flips your whole world upside down. And it changes you and people who care about you. And it is hard. It is so hard to go through that. But just remember, you never fight alone. You always have the support of others.